is this. Now, I hate to bring up bad news or whatever, and we're gonna keep it as like surface level as possible. But
I know where you're going with this.
Exactly. Yeah. So. So, okay, do I have the permission to go forward?
Go for it.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Go for it.
You know, you got to be PC nowadays, but politically correct. No, it's playing. JK. So the thing is that there was some things going on with my bro, and he had like a relationship with this certain individual, and they just didn't turn out to be what the person, you know, that they should be, and he was really going through it. So what I did as a surprise, I was like, hey bro, we fixing to go. I don't give a damn what you're doing. I'm fixing to come pick you up. I'm not going to tell you where we're going. We're fixing to make it happen. And so after those events, in the midst of that, I picked him up. We went to House of Blues in Houston, and we saw Issues, who did their headlining show. Yeah, it was excitement to him, and he was like, wow. When he finally saw on the on the bulletin who was playing, he was like, bro,
what did you say to me?
I was just like, yo, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, let's go turn up.
No, it's something that you said. Because I was going through a lot. Like, I was going through some serious issues. And you said something.
No pun intended.
Like, no pun intended. Until he said this. Oh,
I can't remember.
He was like, hey, bro, regardless of what you got going on, I'm going to take you somewhere. It's going to solve your issues. Something like along the lines of that.
Maybe to that.
And it did not click. And we get the, hey, Issues performing. Like, oh.
And so what was so dope is that like when he finally saw like who was playing, he was like, bro.
Talking about. Because, you know, I remember this date specifically because, you know, Houston Astros, you know, hold on one second. 2017 World Series champs, you know what I'm talking about? And who played? What was that one band? I mean, I like the band and all, but I'm talking shit right
now. Was that Volumes?
Volumes came out with nothing but Dodgers jerseys, and we
I remember that.
Waxed that ass.
Yeah, and they had people literally like while we were watching the bands perform, we literally had people on their phones streaming the game, so it was lit.
Streaming the game, you know, like videotaping them saying, "Hey, Astros gonna win" as they watching Volumes perform and stuff like that. Oh man, that day was just
it was perfect.
It was like riots in the streets,
and we were in general population with everybody downstairs, not sitting upstairs like people who
was in the pit.
Thank you. So we were getting down
real mosh
and
pit.
We got down in the wall of death too. So just saying.
Yeah. So when it come to like rappers talking about mosh pits, they don't know nothing about mosh pits. Like.
I've been to a lot of Warped Tours as well, so these mosh pits are great. But so you know, with all of that happening, that greatness of, you know, they coming there the Dodgers jerseys, we like giving Volumes crowd, but it was like all in good fun.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. They put on a great show.
They did, mm-hmm. And so when Issues, like, you know, even before they played, he said, bro, I really want them to perform Blue Wall.
Yeah,
and so. I already kind of know, like, I'm not going to tell y'all where I get it from. Maybe if y'all come in, I'll tell y'all. But most of the time when I go somewhere, I kind of already know the set list that's going to be performed. And so I didn't say anything, and I looked it up, and then I was just like to myself, like, oh, this guy's in for a treat. And so when they finally did Blue Wall, this guy just let everything out. Like,
scratch my glasses up.
He was screaming, like he went in the pit. Like, dude, it was amazing. And so for him to release that, like after everything concluded, like the show was just amazing.
It's something about the scene. Like when you're in this scene, all are welcome. So you have like when it came to Volumes only had one white dude. I think he was a drummer. Like the main screamer, I forgot what he is, but like the guitarist, bassist, they're Mexican, and the other vocalist, the singer / screamer, is black. Yeah, you know, they're very versatile. They're very diverse. But when it comes to the scene, like there's a handful of like black people that come out to these shows and stuff like that. So especially when they see a black dude screaming, like which he was screaming as well. So when you see black people, like white people, kind of like they look back like, oh. hey, power to the people. You know, they rocking with us. You know, so they wanna encourage us. And that's what makes it so much fun. And then like we was like touching the stage basically. That's how close we were.
And just a little historical context, okay? Me and this guy come from the scene. We were in like post hardcore / like the whole scene core band, so we're not noobs to this. And so finding groups that were like able to like speak for us and like where we were at that particular moment in our life is like always dope. So I mean, like in regards to that show, like it was like pretty legendary. And the thing that I vividly remember was that after we were leaving, like he was holding on to me, and like he kind of was, I wouldn't say like he physically exerted himself, but everything that he was dealing with, he was able to leave it right then and there. And he just looked at me, he was like, bro, like thank you so much, like love you for this, man. And I still remember that, and I was just like, it's nothing, like I understand. So that's what Issues is about. However, we're this
was
is
about was about. So I mean, I don't like talking about people, but I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed, because that's what
I am. I don't give a damn what he's talking about.
I mean, because like that's what bands do. You know, there's change. When it comes down to it, the only thing that remains the same is change. You know,
you can change, but at least make sure your content is still good.
Yeah. So also when I was jamming out to Blue Wall, that was the first time I realized that the guitarist was actually a screamer. I was like, yo, much respect. So I go back and start watching videos. I'm like, yo, this dude jamming, playing guitar, and he's a vocalist. Like, yo, I fucks with this. Much love. I can't wait for the next album. And then we get hit with this bullshit.
In 2019, to be exact. So let's just put it into perspective. Issues came out with a album called Beautiful Oblivion, which at this point in time, Michael, the screamer, is no longer in the band. DJ Scout had actually left Issues before they even started that tour.
Before like Headspace, I think.
Yeah, so because it was an amicable split. Like he wanted to focus on like, you know, other projects and actually get his name going as a producer. But he still did contribute to writing of the lyrics and like the cuts in the album and stuff like that on the hip hop front. So let's fast forward to 2019 with this Beautiful Oblivion release. The first video that was released as the single from that, I wasn't here for it. I've always felt that Tyler Carter has a great voice, but his two weaknesses is that he tries to, on his solo stuff, he can either get a little bit too R&B to where he looks like in my opinion, like a hipster version of Justin Timberlake, and that's bad because JT is like dope. Secondly, this new direction that the whole band was going in, even if they did not like scream as much as they did, I still think that they could have had a avenue in order to venture into the new music that they wanted to, but still make it relevant and still hard. Prime example of Mice and Men, when Austin Carlisle was starting to take sick, and they were transitioning over to the new guy, Jamie, who came from another band called Jamie's Elsewhere. Aaron, I'm sorry, getting bad with names. Anyway, long story short, their sound had changed, but it still was hard. So when Restoring Force and things came out, it still was hard. Bring Me the Horizon, perfect example. Throughout the years, we knew that they were getting away from screaming, came from like a supreme deathcore band, and now look at them being like one of the biggest bands in the world, but they still have songs here and there that have substance and meaning. Issues to me on like, Beautiful Oblivion, they didn't have that.
I want to talk about Bring Me the Horizon. Like, it's very short. Like, the reason why they changed, like, they still got a lot of the same band members, but like the reason why they changed is because when it comes to screaming, doing vocals, if you don't do it the right way, you can damage your vocals, and it can cause a lot of illness in which some people actually die from this. Infections and stuff like that. So for Bring Me the Horizon, I know you told me something about the lead vocalist.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to change the scope of the music just so he could protect his vocals.
Yeah, for all of the BMTH fans out there, we know going all the way back to Medusa and stuff like that, like when he was really screaming, he was really screaming hardcore. And so he ripped his vocal cords very bad. And so in order to protect that, he had to find ways in order to develop. So, but the thing is that, like I said, they were able to develop and still put out songs that had content that was really good. To me, Issues with Beautiful Oblivion did not do that. It sounded bland, it sounded mediocre, and I was just very kind of disappointed. Now, like he said earlier, and like I said before you make your point, there's nothing wrong with wanting, I understand that, right? Like as a band, being in a band, you want to change your sound, that's fine. But the thing is that never lose, my tip to bands and to people, never lose sight of what brought you here in the first place. And I think that's what happened to Issues on this last project, is that they just sounded like everybody else. And it doesn't have to be like something completely groundbreaking all the time. That's pressure within itself. But at least just make it sound good and make us as your core fans feel it. And I didn't feel anything. It's just a throwaway. Like literally, if you put it on right now, I could use like their physical CD like as a ashtray for like smoking a cigar or something like that, because that's how bad it is.
That's one of those CDs that's just lost behind a car seat or something, you know.
It's not even a classic. It's meant to be kept in plastic and to be discarded as such.
Yeah. But burn myself. But like oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna talk about. Yeah, they like I said, they're not disappointing me. I'm glad they're still continuing.
I still have hope in them, but this project was not it. It wasn't the wave. I'm sorry.
However, when it comes to people that's trying to get into like metal music and stuff like that, I do recommend that album just so you can kind of like ease your way into it.
Beautiful Oblivion? I quit.
To be honest with you, I didn't hear the whole album. I heard like that.
I heard it from. Let me tell you, for those of us,
snippets.
I'm going to speak for myself. Okay, that's on him. Okay, with me, I come from the age of I listen to an album from front to back. What compels me is that when I listen to the first single, I'm like, okay, even if it's like hit or miss, I'm still going to take the time to listen to the entire body of a project, because it's happened several times to me to where I've listened to either a artist or a band, their lead single, and judge the new material is going to be based off of that. But when it's incorporated into the body of work, you're like, oh shit, I didn't know. So I'm a full album artist. I heard it from start to end, and then from end to start, and all of that. Even certain songs, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't hear the whole album, but like I heard pieces, and like I was with my fiance, like she's Mexican, like norteños, banda, like merengue, all that. She don't really do. She label it as English music. Anything that has English lyrics as English music. So that's rap, hip hop, rock, country, all that is English music to her. So I played that for her, and she actually started grooving to it. She liked it. And I was like, okay, that's a good way to ease her in. Yeah, I didn't like it either, but I was like, hey, this is not why I like this band. And she was like, all right, cool. And then so I started playing the self-titled Issues album. And she's like, I see why you like it. I can get down with this. So that eased her into it. That's where I'm coming from when I say about, you know.
Disclaimer, the album is still horrible.
Yeah.
It's only my opinion. Anything that I say, if there are people out there that like it, cool. Just in my personal opinion, it wasn't for me. However, even though my favorite screamer is no longer in the band, I still strongly believe that Tyler Carter and everyone in Issues are talented enough to continue to progress in a great way. However, if this project was any inkling of how things may be going forward, I'm going to have to get off of this bus before it goes completely off the cliff. And I'll just stay with all of the content and all of the great music that they've done prior to this. And, you know, so if you want to call me a hipster, call me whatever you want. I'm just saying, I have faith for them, But however, if they continue to put stuff like this,
I can't rock with it. Now I understand. So yeah, if y'all want to know what we rock with, make sure y'all leave a comment, comment, and subscribe so we can drop some hidden gems on y'all.
And guys, share with us. We're on Spotify. Like, I have several playlists. If you guys specifically want stuff for this type of genre or any other genre, trust me, I got you.
Oh,
like,
we're on Spotify as well. From A.B.I. Productions. So that's the company that I founded. And the group that we have is called AKA, which is All Kinds of Like. We're on Spotify if you want to look us up. All Kinds of Like. Yeah, you can hear us there. And then, like you said, we can share a bunch of playlists and stuff like that. But definitely let us know about this episode if you want us to drop some hidden gems on you guys. As far as music, like rock, heavy metal, progressive, stuff like that, we'll drop a lot of.
And if you want to, the band that I'm looking forward to cover is one of the most influential bands of all time, and is one of my favorite bands, and has given me the king of the music scene now, Ronald Joseph Radke, and his involvement in Escape the Fate Volume Verse. If you guys want to see an in-depth review / analysis, let us know.
Make sure you bring popcorn for that one and some tea. All right. So as you have seen, what we do with these videos, we kind of like phase into the next episode because they all kind of intermingle with one another. So since we're on the subject of rock music and stuff like that, I think the next video we should talk about is how we actually met in like our history.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So if you want to know more about us, stay tuned for the next episode.
I'm King Nate.
I'm Neto. This is 2BK.
We're out of here.
Oops.
Riding around the city, I got it, I'm getting it. I'm in spheres and plane, high as a dove, good vibes only, straight pure love. Coasting, separating from the rest. I'm higher than the smoke that's situated in my chest. I close my eyes, and just float on. Celestial vibes, they just carry me on.